I was raised very conservatively by my grandfather, and he just was a kind of no-nonsense, man from the South, born and raised in North Carolina during the time of segregation, always worked because he had to, obviously, and, was working since he was 5 years old. And, more of what I learned was caught and not taught. I just saw him and my grandmother in a very functional relationship, how happy they were their entire lives. My grandfather never complained about anything. He just thought that the ability to be able to work and to contribute was the ultimate blessing in life. And he placed nothing above his family. And growing up in his household, and we had to read the Bible, every morning around the breakfast table, I was so resentful of that conservative nature. And when I got out of his house, I went the exact opposite way, right? So I was super liberal. I wasn't politically liberal. I never had voted before. I will always be remembered as a Republican voter, unless the Republicans do something crazy. But I was spiritually liberal. I kind of believed in all the nonsense that liberalism represented freedom, and that all I had to do was let go and go with the world. And ultimately, very quickly, it made me miserable. I had nothing of substance in my life. When you're chasing these things that don't actually provide you with any value, it shrinks you as a person on the inside. When my grandmother died, and it's a much longer story, when my grandmother died, I kind of had that wake-up call that I hadn't really been happy since I had been in their household. And I did a complete 180 and kind of went back to my roots, really. So I very largely contribute who I am today to all of those early seeds that were planted by my grandmother and my grandfather.
Yeah, and that's the part, and you've talked about this. You've made this point. I don't understand why more people haven't come to the same conclusion. And you talked about this a lot in Blackout, and you talk about it with your organization on how if you're black, you have to be a Democrat. But then when you look at how Democrats have treated black people throughout time, now they have conveniently washed their history away, but no one else can. If you really go by their rules, that whatever you've ever done in the past is still who you are today, I don't know why they're still claimed as the party of the black people. It doesn't make any sense to me. And you've talked about this before, but I'm white, so I can only see it, they say, from a certain angle. But I am logical. I can see if something hasn't worked for you, why do you continue to cling to it? I think it's Einstein's definition of insanity, right? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Yeah, and doesn't it feel disrespectful for any organization to say you belong to us, no matter what?
Yeah, that's right. And I think what people have to realize is that what you're dealing with is a mass brainwashing more than anything else. And that you can see that looking at how COVID has happened, right? You've got people double masking in their cars by themselves, even when they don't have to. And so the ability of the mainstream media plus the public education system to form people's minds is very real and very relevant. We don't talk enough about the effects of propaganda. We don't talk enough about the impact of a Department of Education that has been intent upon teaching children, first and foremost, that they can undermine their parents, right? That family structures are not something that they need. That's where I learned it. You be freer in the world. This will produce more freedom. Take off your clothes on the internet. You'll feel better for this. Sleep with tons of men. I mean, these are really the things that kids are learning, not at home, but in the classroom, right? So you've got 18 years. I mean, if your kid goes to the public school system, you've got 18 years of brainwashing that has to be undone.
If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe to our channel so you'll be sure to see similar videos from BlazeTV with the added bonus of signaling YouTube that your voice and opinion still matters. And if you're looking for more great conservative content, check out one of the 2 videos suggested here.